Yeah, kind of, because all the kills were like these little one-off kills that didn't end up meaning much, and that's actually the thing. As I'm thinking back about the team comp, it's like, yeah, they had Jarvan and Lulu, they had ways to start fights. They didn't have ways to finish fights, and that's why I was so confused, like why it wasn't working.
Well, it's supposed to be freeze.
Well, yeah, it's the weird thing, right? It's like it's supposed to be freeze. Like, I mean, LeBlanc doesn't really fall up against frontline, but like Lulu doesn't do much damage, and yeah, you're right. Freeze can't be there to make that happen either, and so yeah, that's what it was. It was the wrong AD carry build. They didn't have any way to follow up on the fights, and that second condition of winning.
He consciously invested in the early game, and he only got one real pickoff onto Ocelot with the Blade of the Ruined King and Youmuu's. And then after that, it was kind of like, okay, this build is just falling off completely. Completely just made moot at that point.
And think about as well, like the fact that he cashed in, not farming to go make these roam plays, whereas Yuki was just farming. So going to Champ Select looks a lot like Game 1 there, except that Nidalee got added to the ban list there for Ninja's Pyjamas. But once again, they first pick the Jax. Lee Sin once again goes over to Morden, but now Twitch does get picked up here for Yuki.
So they banned the Lucian out because it was first picked by Gamers 2 last time. Very conscious ban there, but that's going to force Freeze onto a different champion. So far, he's only played Lucian in Twitch. To my, everything we've seen from him is just Lucian Twitch.
Yeah.
Actually, just Twitch. We only seen him play Twitch.
And this series, yeah.
And it's very, very, you have to kind of drop yourself down, be like, okay, Gamers 2 just took our top 2 picks. We banned out Lucian. They took Twitch and Lee Sin. What are we going to play in the jungle? What are we going to play AD carry? Because they're going to have to go on a little less, a bottom tier for them.
We'll see what they go for right now. Looks like NIP going to take their time with their important AD carry and mid lane picks to tailor their team comp around what Gamers 2 has picked up right now. Actually, they switch. Oh, I thought they actually locked some things in. No, they're still waiting around. AD carry and support do get picked up. So actually, jungle and mid lane are left for last to tailor their comp. They're going to say, hey, we have supreme late game power with Kog and Jax. That's already been shown. Gamers 2 knows NIP's game plan.
Kog'Maw, Braum, pretty strong. You want to pair Braum with a hyper carry if you can. But at this point, Kog'Maw very vulnerable to Twitch. You're going to have to see. Because it's not going to be protect the Kog'Maw. It's going to be every man for himself knowing NIP's style.
You know what's awesome about Braum? He blocks spray and pray. He is really freaking good against Twitch. So right away, like some of the team fight power is going to be dropped off for G2. You can go straight at them, just drop up the shield, and like life gets really painful if you're a Yuki here. So that'll be one to watch for. Braum, better than normal when you're fighting a Twitch.
Better than normal. He's already really good.
I'm not going to say better than you expect, because everyone expects him to be good, but he's already better than normal in this matchup. Maybe Lee Sin kicking him back into the team. That'll be how they get it happen. Honestly, like Lee Sin is actually good against Braum. He sets himself up to get kicked into the team. Great. You get free ones.
Stand behind me.
Stand. Whoa! Wrong side. Wrong side. Well, seeming to go for some very similar matchups here, though. Morgana, I believe that's actually one of these sort of considered counter picks to Braum right here with everything available. That's what he's going to go for on this one. Shyvana still to match up against Alex Ich in the top lane. Last time they fought, it went pretty equal, but I'm going to see if this one tips any differently. Ninjas in Pyjamas still looking at a very similar team comp for themselves. Maybe the Evelynn coming through still, and of course, hey, maybe they just pick up Twist of Fate again.
Yeah, big thing with Morgana, though, binding, if it hits Kog'Maw, root it for 3 seconds. It's going to be a lot of damage coming on that Kog'Maw. He's not going to be very tanky at all. He has nobody to back him up currently in this lineup. And, Orianna would be a little bit of a shield, a little bit of a boost. But here's the thing. Morgana does really well against Braum. You talked about it being the counter pick. I think it's the go-to counter pick against Braum because in 4.9 you can spell shield, and the final tick of his passive, the concussive blows, it'll just say spell shield. It doesn't
it's
stun
some
you.
magic damage and a stun.
And very telegraphed because it's like, oh, that's the person who has the debuff on him. Spell shield him. Black shield it, he'll be fine.
Give him the black shield, and life is safe for you. So Gamers 2 going to make their last choice now, seeing that it's Orianna mid lane, and I think NIP's comp is pretty well rounded, though very late game focused. They have the ability to make plays, so 40 minutes they look great. First 20 they look all right. We'll see if they dip at any point in time. Gamers 2 saying, okay, here's the comp. Think about the ways they're going to go in on this one.
Well, what NIP's going to do is they're going to put the ball onto Ko, because we saw Ko last time flank with all of those really good Agony's embraces. Just coming in from the back, getting, I think he didn't hit like less than 3 people. There was one that got flashed. That was really funny. So that one only hit 1, but in the team fights, he hit about 5 people, 3 people consistently. So Ko loves to flank, and if you pair that with an Orianna, that's your engage tool there. Is 2 mild engages made into a really big one.
And so it's going to be pretty happy right here. NIP do have ways to start fights and finish fights, and that'll make them a nice comp. And it is actually a 3-threat comp as well, which is nice. That if any one of them gets held down, someone else can pick up the slack. So Ninjas and Pyjamas team looks pretty great. Gamers 2, though, pretty much 2-threat, but if Yuki builds the correct way, and so far he's been building to carry games, that could be enough for them. They have plenty of utility to back it up, on top of the fact that, you know, Lulu and Morgana, great defensive team, great follow-up team as well if you get in there with Shyvana. So both these comps look pretty good, and overall they're well-rounded. It's like we can do a little bit of everything, and their damage is still going to be good late game in general.
Yeah, I like that Gamers 2 is bringing this to the table right now. They have the Twitch, they have the Lulu to pair with the Twitch, and then the Morgana. Can't really get to the Twitch when there's a black shield on him, and then he also has Wild Growth. It's very difficult. And a Wild Growth Twitch is basically, I'm just going to stand here and use rat-tat-tat. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, sunglasses come down from the sky, deal with it.
Yeah, I mean...
That's basically what happens with Lulu.
And Twitch's eyesight gets even worse. He already has a hard...
I hope he's playing Vandal Twitch.
Actually, to be fair, one of his quotes is, "How do you see with all this light?" You give him sunglasses, he gets stronger. I mean, he aims better at the very least, right? It's got it. Like that's basically canon at this point.
Okay. That's why Vandal Twitch is so strong.
Yes, it's actually the best skin because he has sunglasses on, so he's a bit stronger as a champion. So
that reasoning, yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, let's get to some real reasoning here between Gamers 2. Real reasoning. He looks so hurt by that.
I am.
But yeah, so Gamers 2 versus NIP here. The game 3 coming into this, NIP looks so dominating in their wins, and in their losses, they still had more gold. So if NIP wins it, they won it at about the 27-minute mark previously. And when they lost, it was at the 44, when Gamers 2 ended up taking that one. NIP have a late game composition here. Gamers 2 have some options. Gonna have to see what Yuki does, because he carried their last game alongside Ocelot. If they can go ahead and just plant the seeds for that duo to just run away with the game, it's very possible things can get out of hand. But there's a lot of synergy here on NIP. You throw the ball onto Braum. You can throw it onto Evelyn, who's flanking. You throw it on Alex Each, who's going into the back line. There's a lot of options here.
Definitely are.
So NIP, they usually draft comps. They have a lot of options.
Yeah.
What I'm noticing. Whereas
Problem is how they
Gamers 2
play around them.
Exactly. It's like, which one is the one they're going to go for?
Yeah.
Gamers 2, on the other hand, not so much.
Fairly single focused.
Yeah, they
very
go
much team fight team.
Exactly. They go for like, all right, this is what we're going to do. NIP, if they recognize it, they can do something about it. But, oh, so close.
Doesn't see into the brush. Unfortunate there, but realistically...
You'll still see Morden. Haha.
Yep.
Worth. Ah.
That's more than enough for them.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
He doesn't see it yet.
He didn't.
The brush is in the way. It's okay.
Not only is it out of the bush.
Yeah.
It's off to the side of the bush.
So actually, this is very interesting. So Morden is starting on the safe side of the map. His dual lane is there. Ko is starting on the weak side of the map and isn't getting punished for it. NIP can get a 3-buff start if they identify this. Okay, so right now, basically, NIP realizes that the dual lane is not there in the bot lane. So that Voidal can very easily, and he's actually doing it right now, walking towards the blue buff. He can put a Trinket Ward down and then jack Morden when he goes for it. NIP, if they play it right, get 3 buffs.
Yeah, they started really far up, too. Voidal and Freeze did. They were way up in that lane, in that bush, waiting for somebody to go ahead and face check it. And that was really big, because now they have all the information that they need. They go ahead and place that ward for themselves, and it won't expire by the time that they get there. So now they're going to be able to go for that 3-buff start that you were talking about.
Yeah, and it's not the biggest deficit. I remember at the beginning of Summer Split 2013, Dignitas vs Cloud9, it's like way back. Dig Cloud9 a year ago. Dig gets a 4-buff start. Patoy Blitzcrank steals away Golem. They counter jungle the red buff. They get their own buffs.
And they won.
And C9 still wins because you know what happens? Nats just shows up top lane with 0 buffs. He's like level 2 and he's like, Spirit Fire, let's just push the turret down.
Yep. And
he's like, I don't really care. We're just not going to like deal with ganks in this game. And they do fine. So like you can play around bad buff starts, but it's basically a 5-minute window where your jungler beats their jungler. You're a level ahead. You're more gold ahead. You've got an extra buff on the guy, whether it's blue or red. In this case, he'll be up a blue buff.
Over Lee Sin, it's not completely crippling.
It's not. Exactly. It's not really crippling. In fact, Lee Sin can just cripple him back, pressing E twice. So, you know, not too bad.
Set you up for it.
I know. I appreciate that. So it's not the end of the world, but it is a nice little buff that's going to help NIP out in the early game. And Realistically, when they're waiting to scale to late game with the Jackson and Kog'Maw, if you hamper Lee Sin a little bit, getting one extra foot in the door.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And Ko showed that his Evelynn likes to gank early, likes to get his foot in the door, and then wedge it out.
Kick it open.
Be like, oh, look at
another
that.
one.
What's in this can of worms? And be like, oh, it's an Evelynn ulti onto 5 people.
Yep.
But we'll have to see because Ko, he loves Lee Sin. He knows how to play against it. He played against Morden's Lee Sin in the first game, and he respected it. They respect each other a lot.
True. Yeah.
Ko, this is the most hesitant I've seen him in a matchup, actually.
Yeah.
He's usually like, die behind your turret, disrespect you, kick you into my team. That's it. He'll like go down being like, whoa, blaze of glory, and he like dies, and he's just like, yeah, that guy, he's over there now. I did my job. He's fine with that stuff.
It's true.
But now he's kind of playing like very skittish, not going for the aggressive counter jungle, which we saw him do previously. Like he was just all up in the enemy's grill before.
Yeah, it feels like a style of sort of very safe controlled aggression to where like the ganks they don't go for like lane ganks and like, well, if I'm counter jungled I get screwed up, or I get counter ganked I get screwed up. It's more like I know that with my group of people
he's TPing to it.
Yeah, 2-on-2. Again, there's the trinket ward, and there comes NIP. Of course, Alex Itch has nothing else to do on the map, so and as long as they put it in the brush, Morden does not have a ward to put down.
Oh, he's gonna get stunned.
Oh my gosh, so much damage coming through. Forced to flash away. I can't believe that actually just happened, but it is going to be the case. There's the smite, and Ko gets farther ahead than I thought he would. They burn a summoner spell, and they burn a lot of health off of Gamers too, so this is even better of a start for NIP.
Yeah, and now Ko, he is sitting pretty. He's going to go ahead and counter jungle this with Alex Itch. Alex has no teleport available, so he might not trek his way all the way back up to top just yet, and I'm surprised the Gamers too actually aren't fast pushing it. They're going to go ahead and ward it up, make sure that they just freeze it for Yuki.
I'm not sure actually why they even bother to trinket ward that blue buff down there, because realistically, I don't know if you're even going to see Eve walk. I mean, you might see Eve walk by the white camp in time, but she's still got the red buff to grab. She's still potentially going to make plays with bottom side. In fact, Dragon's likely a play right now for NIP as well.
They may not have known that she had started at the blue. Like, there was a blue floating on her.
Yeah, so they have to know. Like, it's a guaranteed knowledge right there.
Noticed, though.
Here's the thing. Gamers 2's on the wrong side of the map as well. They know Morden goes top jungle because his bottom jungle's gone. They know the jungle's on the wrong side of the map.
Ooh, they're converging onto Exile right now. He's a little far up. If he gets hit by a binding, it could be devastating because they're wrapping around him.
Well, Exile should know.
Oh, there's 2 members of NIP in the backup.
Yep. Yeah, so we should know that everyone's going to come from the left side of the map right now.
Alex.
He stays towards the right. Ko is actually going to face check. This is not the right place to be, though. Big damage comes through. Has to burn his flash, but there's the jump over. The damage does come through. First blood goes to Ocelot. Now a double buff Lulu. NIP playing a little bit way too aggressive.
Still
now
chasing
Alex burns his flash, gets a shield. Exile's going to be careful now. Q's going to land from Lee Sin. They're not going to go for any more, but that was still awesome from G2.
It's the 4-man roam middle. That was really well played there. Dude with the dark binding coming up big there because Ko just face checked that bush.
That was so much disrespect by NIP.
Yeah.
They know Lee Sin has to go top jungle. They know Morgana's missing, and they still face check that brush. I am surprised they did a play like that.
Oh.
And now
going for the wards.
5 gold.
Just even more golds in the pocket.
5 more gold.
Gamers 2. Ocelot now has double buffs, and that's going to make Exile's life really hard.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for the man. So right now, dude, Gamers 2 have made some very smart plays now. And, you know, we said that Ko was playing a little skittish, a little afraid, a little respectful. Not in that case. Completely misjudged where the enemy team was and got heavily punished for it. Gamers 2 showing up mid the right way now. And Exile just forced to shove away the minions. Does have a minion lead for what it's worth. Ocelot has already recalled once and is forced to get back in the lane, but
which you
Exile
typically
showing no fear.
End up doing, though, because he got a 3-buff start. So he, like we said, he didn't respect it that time. So he was like, I'm more powerful than Morden would be at this point in the game. Oh, wait, there's Dude right there. Didn't keep tabs on the top lane. Well, I guess it would be the bottom lane duo. It's now in top lane.
Yeah.
You saw him roam down and make his way into those bushes. Would be the logical way to go. He didn't even follow Alex, because Alex was off on the left side, going a completely different route than Ko was.
Yeah, well, okay. We got to see what these guys do. 300 gold is actually only what separates these teams now. A 4-minute first blood worth about 600 gold, but half that's been made up in the laning phase anyway for Ninjas in Pyjamas. We're going to see junglers actually sitting on very similar item builds for themselves. Shockingly, no mana potion for Morden. Otherwise, he would actually completely mirror it. I don't know why he wouldn't buy mana, but you know, I guess it's just his style here.
He didn't get a blue.
Darn. Missing all the blue colors in Lee Sin. It's okay, Ocelot has to make up for it. 2 blue items in that champion.
He's also got a blue buff.
Yep. Very matching. It's a set bonus.
Anyway, so so they're going for a converge now. They're going to try the same strategy, but try to reverse it here. NIP, they're off on the right side. It's warded there, whereas Gamers2 is off on the left, just hanging out. Oh, they're going to wrap all the way around, but here comes Dude from the top lane.
Everyone sees everyone. They actually see Dude come down as well. He's been spotted on the way over.
Gamers2 has really good ward coverage of this map, and they have a lot of wards in their inventory too. They're playing this correctly.
This is the right play.
Oh, the dragon.
Yes.
And now they all have to wrap around and go for it, because Lee Sin can't walk straight through the lane. Warden doesn't have his flash either. They're going to be checking this, and by the time he gets there, no, he's not even going to go for it. He's going to go for wolves, and they're going to get themselves a free dragon.
Wow. Well played right here. NIP going to grab that dragon very successfully for themselves. Gets picked up right there. Good smite by Ko. They did earn it based on where the lanes were in the first place. G2 is going to check it and be like, yeah, it's gone, right? He's like, yeah, okay.
What ended up happening is that ward that's in that side bush can only see there. What ended up happening is NIP went up and to the right in that bush that Warden walked up to and put a ward in, right? He's like, oh, they're not here. Because it doesn't show them exiting that bush, because they went straight from that bush to dragon.
Yeah. Well, good play then by NIP overall, playing around the ward coverage, playing around everything, and it's good stuff. Now Mortar going to start at this blue buff again. This side of the map is actually Gamers2. The northwest edge is it really belongs to these guys, and they're actually doubling back for their own blue buff as soon as possible. You're seeing the immediate recall. It's going to be Morgana grabbing some items and trying to show back up, and the second blue buff is actually going to be, I think, an area of contest here for Gamers2.
Must be great to be an AD carry right now. Just sitting around, throwing your stomach acid at people. You're good.
So wrong about blue buff. They actually just go back for their own red, looks like. Actually, well, they recalled their AD carry back already, but it's not going to be in time. NIP timed this buff. They go right for it as soon as possible. Exile. Ooh, actually, blue buff goes to Alex Ich there. He didn't get the W down.
JWoww, level 4, being converged on. It's a level 7.
He is on the wrong spot right there. Does not have flash, but the Lulu Wild growth does keep him alive. And actually, these guys want the fight. Ko gets binded. This could be a great fight for G2. And in they go. Voidal in the front lines. He's doing what he can. Ko already falls. JWoww with a shield. He's going to trade back, though, 1-for-1. Dude forced away. He's 2 hits from a stun. That's a Q of the slow. Alex Ich, a leap and an auto tackle do it. And there's a stun on Dude. Half HP. More Brish coming through the slow as well. And they're still chasing down. The slow from Twitch putting a bit down. Dude, 1 hit from dead. Now the leap and Alex Ich picks one up. 2-1 the fight for NIP.
And they end up getting the dragon earlier, so they now have an 800 gold lead. And that gives them some boosts in experience too. They had a couple members running around at about level 3 for Voidal. Gets himself level 4 off of that. And ooh, so close. Very close there.
Keeps him away though. So 9 minutes in, about an 800 to 900 gold lead as well. So NIP have made things happen despite giving away first blood on a mistaken gank in the mid lane, but now they're looking good. Yuki, he is on Twitch. He's trying to make the play.
Look for Exile. He has a Bilgewater.
Bilgewater Cutlass used. The W slow coming down as well. Good damage comes out, but Exile's got that shield. He's pretty safe. Ocelot only finds some damage through. That's all they go for.
Nice assassination attempt there by Yuki. Gonna have to keep tabs on his build, see what he ends up going with, and how he's gonna try to use that Twitch versus the Trinity Force that Freeze is building for himself. Ko actually was seen by the pink ward off on the right side.
Okay, so he's still got to be careful. Really, all the above. So right now it looks like top lane is going to be the move for NIP. They're sending a lot of guys around. They've still let Freeze sit there in the bot lane, largely alone. He shut up for a dragon fight, but like basically he's just alone farming up as best he can, trying to get gigantic, if at all possible. NIP, a lot of effort sent top lane, but Gamers2 read this and they're around. JWoww, ooh, doesn't actually check the brush and hit anyone with it, so nothing found there. Some defensive wards from Ko, or I guess they're like aggressive defensive wards. They look to see if there's a counter gank in the top lane, and he actually spots enough of G2 to not go for it.
Yep. And now down bottom, we just see Freeze once again. Freeze in the lane. He's going to be up against the support though now. And Voidal, man, such great map movement prediction.
Yeah.
Basically, it's these two teams have been playing chess against each other this whole series long.
Ooh, binding doesn't land, but the cask does, and decent damage comes out from Yuki onto Freeze. He's got to back up a little bit here. You're going to see this lane is pushed into the turret, does not allow the Freeze anymore. That is exactly what NIP wanted. Plus, they're matching now and heads up a 2-on-2 lane for the first time this game. We'll see how well they can pay off with this one. So they actually miss all the CS under the turret, all the casters under the turret, I should say. Small mistake there, but still 90 to 82 in minions. Ruin King close to done there for Yuki as well, about 1,000 gold away.
They're pinging onto Exile because he's less than half HP, converging on him with 3 members, but Ko is still around.
Something to be afraid of for sure.
has not yet been spotted. Now Alex has teleport, still sitting in the top lane by himself as Jax has that timer.
He's still freezing, but Ko takes a bunch of damage. They don't go all in for it because Alex did show up afterwards, and of course Ko had ulti for the shield. But you're seeing NIP, they're trying to play a slow game. They're trying to play, okay, scale up. We'll take Dragon when it's available. We'll counter jungle when it's available because we're smart players. We they're not making dumb choices, but they're ultimately trying to freeze lanes. They're not pushing too fast. They're trying to wait for Jax and Cog to really come online. They take their time for that one. We'll see if Gamers 2 lets them.
We'll have to see the Kog'Maw in the late game with the Braum and the Jax,
Yep.
Orianna. NIP have a lot of threats here, and we covered it earlier in Gamers 2. Can they get Yuki going? Looks like they might be able to off of this.
Little puts a ward down, but some damage comes through. He's going to back up to his teammate, and he stays safe. Binding does not land next to a minion, but that ward is going to go down, swept away by the pink of Morden. Going to make that team nice and happy. So now NIP have to be so afraid of the fact that Lee Sin can come in at any time, and he can't keep face checking that brush.
Yeah, they know there's a pink in there, though.
Yeah.
But they can't face check it just yet. Gonna have to call down Colonel
He gets
Ko.
spotted. He gets spotted by the ward up there. No one pinged him out, though, so maybe they didn't see him just with their map awareness. But look at that. Okay, now they know he's there. Clear by that pink ward, no big deals.
I'm actually surprised he showed himself at that point. Because once Voidal had checked the bush, Voidal would have been the one attacking it. They could have baited something in if there could have been a Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. I don't know if there was a need to show himself. He could have just stayed present off on the side.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. He does sweep away the pink ward on the other side, though, so 2 pinks just die here. They did finally realize about that one anyway. And NIP are looking pretty decent. They're getting the ward control that allows them to make these plays. Dragon has respawned now 13 minutes in. Ninjas in Pyjamas still playing a slow game. Last time they did take the Dragon. See if they keep playing for it.
Yeah, Ko stalking Morden right now.
Trinket ward goes down to spot that one.
Huh. He saw nothing.
He didn't see Ko. Morden, he's trying to make the play. Pink ward goes down.
He's right next to him. It's just so close.
He's trying to sweep the ward away, but looks like Exile will be able to grab this pink very successfully.
Oh, he
jumps
went
over.
for it.
Here's the play. This is going to be good for Ko. Shotgun comes in, forcing the flash teleport. You can't kill a ward when you're teleporting to it, so this could be the attempt now. No slow's going to land right here, and Exile does get out, but that is a couple of summoner spells lost.
Yeah, he flashed the ultimate from Orianna and Evelyn. He actually used his Agony's Embrace there.
Oh, wow.
And it hit nobody.
Okay, so very good flash then for Morden to keep himself safe. That's good stuff with these guys. And it does mean a pink ward killed now, and actually, right now this means also NIP's on the wrong side of the map. No teleport for Alex so Gamers 2 just goes for it.
Yep, good teleport by JWoww. It's paying off twofold now. But of course, they've zoned off Yuki. He's about half HP. He has no mana to come in here. Freeze is a little bit healthier. Don't think they'll contest it, though, with the lack of ultimates.
There you go. Well picked up. Gamers 2 make that one happen, knowing they could only get a 4v5 at best, so NIP does back off. Gamers 2 put it back within 600 gold here. Very, very smart move, pulling the people down at the right time. But keep in mind, this whole time, Alex has been farming. He's been pushing the top lane. He's got nearly a 30 minion kill lead, and we still don't have JWoww coming back top.
And big thing, too, is that they blew the ultimate from Exile. So he couldn't show up to the dragon fight and just turn it around on top of a Kog'Maw. Instead, nice flash.
Forced away. Twitch restarts, though. Of course, you can't really fight under an enemy turret, so if you will back off of this one, Yuki pushing him away, but that turret's down a half HP, and of course, Dragon did eventually get answered by that top turret, just to make sure you guys, hear about that one, because it means NIP really haven't lost anything for that. In fact, they just kept gaining solo lane XP, so really, there's even less chance to catch out of this one. But also, though, ult himself, but here comes Ko, flashes in to deal the damage. Exile shields himself, and the Glitter Lance misses. That would have dropped him down, so kill picked up by Ko. That was nice.
And Ko's looking back to himself right now, diving behind turrets, the last place you expect the jungler to come from. Just such an aggressive style. Because he could have seen Morden at all on his little trek up there, and it would have spelt disaster.
That worked very successfully. Alex tries to counter jungle the red buff, can't make it happen. Trigger ward down for Morden, but goes around, gets the smite. Good job by Morden, makes it happen. That was a well-played move.
Very difficult to get an objective away from the Lee Sin.
Yes. But it still means 3,000 gold is the lead now for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They've made very good early game moves. The dragon fight, the dragon itself, and now 2 turrets picked up. Their duo lane actually winning by a lot right now.
All of their lanes are winning in CS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Their lanes are all actually winning in CS. But the main turret that went down was actually, top lane was because the guy left the lane, and that's pretty forgivable. And they got dragon for it, so that's kind of a wash. But bot lane just got the turret kill head just straight up. They just showed up there. beat the lane up 1v1 and made that happen, right? Mid lane got turned by ganks and whatnot. That's forgivable as well, but bot lane won the 2v2. That one's big to me.
And the only deaths on the team are actually Ko as Evelyn. And Evelyn really just has to get 1 or 2 items and then just falls off anyway and becomes a team fighter.
The thing about his 1 or 2 items, he went Cutlass.
Yeah.
Remember how last game NIP was all in for the early game?
That's a solo Q build.
Well, this is going to be a 2v3. Good jumps away, but Morden, can he land the Q? No.
Yeah, that's a very solo Q-esque build. People will typically go Hex Drinker, second item. But because he has the Cutlass, he's going to try to make more use out of his Ravage and the attack speed bonus he gets from that.
Yeah, he's very much about assassin in the back line. Ko wants to get back there, relying on Voidal and Exile really for durability here, which is a risk he's going to take. Last time he went, I think, too squishy on Jarvan by getting the Hex Drinker third, but you know, he's an aggressive player, a young player, not a lot of competitive experience. I still trust him. Like, I think it's a good build, but I just you see it rarely in competitive, and there's a chance that's too big of a risk here. We'll see if it pays off.
Definitely have to see what happens there. They're besieging this turret up. It's basically a nice, gentle breeze would knock it over. That or some stomach acid from Kog'Maw.
Yeah, just one of those. Removes the rest of that.
I saw this thread that was describing what every AD carry actually does. It's like, shoots light from their gun, shoots crossbow, vomits on you.
Vomits on you. That
vomits
would be
his stomach acid on you. That's what Kog'Maw does, though.
I would rather have that than, you know, poisonous bolts from a plague rat, to be fair.
I don't know.
I mean, like, you know a venomous crossbow bolt would probably just straight kill you. Stomach acid...
From something from the void.
I mean, maybe, right? I don't know what the void is, you know? Like, maybe just, like, a rat pukes on me, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of gross. Like, I've had a dog that threw up before, and, like, I had to shovel it up and put it in the garbage, and, you know, I didn't die from it. Crossbow's a little more lethal, in my opinion.
Yes, crossbow is probably much more lethal in terms of, like, the percentage of chance that it would kill you.
Yes.
Even if it's not a venomous crossbow, it's still gonna hurt you a lot. Probably resulting in death.
Yes. That's why I'm very afraid of Twitch in real life. So, okay. This game's been pretty interesting. So far, I gotta say, NIP look a lot more like they did in Game 1. They made very smart early game moves. To be fair, they made some good early moves in Game 2 as well. But I think they've got more of a leg to stand on. The fact they're going Jax, Cog, Ori, and have an early game lead spells a lot of good things for NIP.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they banned out the Nidalee, adjusted their strategy, because they weren't going to pick it, considering the champion pool that Exile has. It's really far down there. Don't know how practiced he is on that. Yeah. Whereas Ocelot, that's his go-to baby after Lulu, it's open. And he went back and forth. He's like, I wanted the Nidalee in Game 2. Game 3, drew a ban because NIP realized that's what was keeping them down. Now they're just dealing with a Twitch, and that's really the biggest threat on the team.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're going Blade of the Ruined King on Evelyn means he's just going to go straight after that Twitch in the back line, see what he can do about him.
Yeah, and so there's two things here then to point out about those things. So one is NIP are not making the same mistake as last time. So Game 2, Gamers 2 did a really good job of just funneling farm on a Yuki, hard carried the game on Lucian, did a great job of that one, and just destroyed people in team fights. And honestly, NIP kind of let them do that. They spent a lot of their time elsewhere. This game around, you've got Kog'Maw with a lot more farm, right? Right now, Freeze is doing better than Yuki in the heads up. And as long as your AD carry is ahead of their AD carry, you're generally going to do pretty well in fights. On top of that one, as you mentioned, the Evelyn build is very, very assassin-focused.
Yeah.
Now, that can get punished in team fights. If there's enough peel, Evelyn just dies. Like, Twitch just, like, kills you with his ultimate while killing the rest of your team as well, and you get nothing done. That is a risk when you don't have defensive stats. That shield doesn't matter very much because you have no armor to back it up. That could happen to Evelyn. Not a guarantee, could happen, though. Or if NIP gets these assassination plays and Ko just destroys Yuki on his own, then great, it pays off.
Oh, that would definitely pay off.
Absolutely, but you've got to see which one of those happens.
Yeah, and also they're kind of leaving Freeze to his own devices here because they have so many threats. It's kind of like, all right, we're all going to go, and hopefully they don't focus you or you're out of position. Because if Freeze mispositions one time, it's going to be very deadly for him because you don't have a frontliner at all who's going to be soaking damage from the Twitch on you.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to watch out for that too. Watch Freeze positioning throughout this. And it's really big here. I want to break this down just for a second. It's Game 3 right now.
Yeah.
Winner goes to London. Loser stays home.
Yeah.
And plays from home in the third, fourth place match.
Yeah.
But going to London is a huge opportunity. You get to play for that first place prize, and you get a lot more points for yourself, basically securing your spot in winner of this secures their spot in the second series. That's a big emphasis too.
That is really big because I mean, think about the overall structure of the Challenger Series, right? And I know you know it, so I'll probably talk to the camera for this one instead. You guys at home, think about some of the teams. If you guys have been following Challenger scene very heavily, if you fall to that third, fourth place match and you lose that third, fourth place match, as you mentioned, right, you're not auto qualified for the summer split 2, the second half of that whole thing, right? Your second chance at points, and realistically, you've got to get top 6 in points to qualify for the playoffs. So top 6, right? Pretty much automatically the top 3 from the second Challenger Series are going to be in there, and usually the top 3 from this one as well, from Summer 1. And you've got a couple of guys in there who like maybe got 4th place both times. If you get 4th place the first time, you pretty much have to re-qualify through ranked 5s, through the round of 20, round of 10 play-ins, then probably also make it to the semifinals again.
What happened with Tick, Trick, and Duck?
Exactly. That was the team he was going to talk about. Tick, Trick, and Duck got 4th place in the first time, didn't re-qualify, missed playoffs by like 2 points, right? Whereas you had a team like now Lublin Shore got 3rd place the first time around, re-qualified, got enough points, made it to the playoffs, and at least got that. Okay, they didn't get to the promo tournament, but like 3rd place and 4th place, very, very big difference, right? And when you're against teams this good, right, you got Lublin Shore, H2K winning the other side of this one, of course, NIP and Gamers 2 also going 1-1. None of those teams are pushovers.
Yes.
They are all difficult to beat. If you get fallen to 4th place and then you get unlucky or you get a bad quarterfinal opponent second time around, like you're not going to playoffs, you're not going to the LCS promotion tournament.
Yeah. That's a huge factor here. Winner goes to London, auto-qualify. Loser has to play another match to see if they requalify for the second Summer Series or if they go back to the ladder. The Gamers 2, both teams are 1 game away from that. This is the game that's going to decide that here between these 2 teams. Now we're back into it. I see Alex in the bottom lane just continuing to push. He's going to bring some attention from JWoww, who doesn't have TP, where Alex does.
Yep. It's an important distinction. It's soon, though, so Gamers 2 can play around that pretty successfully.
They'll both be up in time for Dragon, which is about around the 20-minute mark here.
Yeah.
Now Ko. And just stalking around the jungle.
Yeah, NIP have definitely been a sort of stockish team, really. They seem really, really focused on getting the individual picks and snowballing off that.
I do want to point out that because of the way that the early game was going and the lane swaps, people have different level disparities right now. The mid lane, we see Exile is level 12. To AD carries level 10, support's level 8. Usually you see the AD carry would be somewhere around level 9 with the support being right there too, or very close to it.
Yeah.
And the mid laner, they've just been soaking more experience into it. Actually, most people should be behind this or closer to what the mid laner is. Currently.
Yeah, mid and top top laners are behind exactly what
for sure.
you expect them to be. That's exactly the point here. So it does mean that Alex Itch is missing his rank 2 ult.
Top and supports are a little behind.
Yes.
AD carries and,
there we go.
And mid laners are ahead. That's the point I want to make.
Okay. No, that's a very accurate point, though. It's the one we're going to look for here. Exile and Freeze are... Oh, and he stops Ocelot's back, which is actually pretty big then. He's going to have to stay for 1 more wave. Which actually...
And a wave, too.
Yeah, so he misses out on, his turret taking that one out. Yuki's going to help defend this mid lane because it's kind of the wave where you're like, if we punish Ocelot, he wants him back. He's got money in his pocket, so he's actually got less items than he wants, right? 1,100 gold right there. Exile, similar situation, actually. There's the recall. Twitch will hold mid for this one.
Blue's up. Both teams know it. This NIP's blue once again.
And Ocelot again can't back on this one. Shockwave comes in, and there's the stomach acid. Turret goes down. NIP actually get a lot of damage down. They kind of use that turret as bait, but that blue buff is still dying right now on the right-hand side of the screen. You're going to see it is going down and picked up there. Ooh.
By
the blue team. Eve.
Who got it?
Ko got it.
Ko? What?
Ko got it. I didn't even see him smite. It wasn't even smite.
No, it wasn't smite. He just walked up and smacked it.
Well done there. Morden and Ocelot could not grab that for themselves, so a blue buff steal. Dragon soon. NIP look good. Now, they have not gotten to recall Exile back. He's about 200 gold short of a...
Ooh, Exile does so much damage right now.
We're going to find Dude, who does not flash shield in time, so he is still slowed. Has to flash away, pops the ulti. He's going to stay safe on this one. Ko flashes in for Morden, though. Still has the damage coming down. Kickback required. That is multiple ultis down right now. Exhaust also burning on Alex Itch. Voidal shows up. He's slow on a Yuki. More stomach acid comes down. Actually, one more shot for the stun. Yuki gets the Lulu ulti to stay alive, but NIP burned the health bars down, and Dragon's up now.
Very well played by NIP there. I was talking about how strong the mid laner and AD carry are, and they abused it right there. Exile's damage chunks Morden down, puts them on the retreat, and then the junglers just go after the really weak supports at this point in the game. And now they're going to go straight for this Dragon. It's up right in time. Now
Very well played, NIP. Get that fight in the jungle. The blue buff steal helping out with that one as well. And now life looks pretty good if you're the blue team. 5,000 gold lead. Yep. Alex Itch stole the red buff as well. Just this aggressive play off on the wings, knowing that G2 was stuck on the opposite side of the map. So the entire important part of the jungle has gone to NIP in the last 2 minutes.
Gonna have those nice buffs spinning around them, gonna give them that extra gold. And Ko, he's gonna need it if he's going after the Blade of the Ruined King for the full build, or if he's just gonna sit on Bilgewater.
We'll see 850 gold right now. We're gonna see right now he could back for double dagger, he could back for some kind of durability boots, or maybe go towards the Randuins that I would expect to see out of this champion. But we'll have to wait and see. Voidal recalling himself back on this one. He's gonna go towards some MR for himself. I'm guessing Aegis.
He went Aegis last game.
Oh, he undid it. He's going something else. He goes to upgrade the sweeper instead.
Okay, that's actually a really good call. He's going for the vision game here. He actually buys multiple pink wards for himself, just in case one expires, so he doesn't have to back between them.
Yeah, you can carry multiple, so put one down if the first one goes away. Freeze still farming up. He's going towards pretty standard build. Blade of the Ruined King, second on Kog'Maw. Is working out. Trinity Force is there, of course.
He spotted him. The jig is up, gamers, too.
They're going to be pretty hard with this one. Voidal sort of reconnected in real time. They're going to stay safe for this one. NIP looking what they can. 22-30 in the game. Of course, they're on the same house, so
yeah,
you can expect when one goes, the rest of them go. But don't worry, they're fine. The game is still going on right here. 5,000 gold. Actually, more than that. 5,500 gold. Ninjas of Pyjamas still growing this lead. Once again, down the line, every single roll, 1 through 5, has more CS than the opposition. They're up 3 turrets. They're up the dragons as well. Ninjas of Pyjamas look very great this game, and they outscale, so life right now is difficult if you're G2. These guys have not found a way into the fights, and they can't just say, well, Twitch will do it. Yeah,
they're setting up for the Baron as well. Voidal, he got the Oracle's Lens for himself. He had multiple pink wards. He just put one down. And now he's waiting for more, and there's this flank from Dude, and out.
Wow, he is in the wrong spot right there. Alex gets the kill thanks to Ko's help with that one. A shield gets an assist on top of that one. Why the heck not? 23 minutes in, and NIP look awesome. Now they go to the top lane here. They're going to do this one very successfully. A turret's going to go down, making that number 4-0 here. Ninjas of Pyjamas only making great choices this game.
Yeah, and the supports and top laners were very far down in levels. It's a level 8 Morgana roaming around against people who are 5 levels up on it. It's a ridiculous amount of pain you take just from the base stats of them. And the fact that you're a support and you don't even build that much durability, you get creamed in seconds. And that's what NIP's doing. They're just going straight for that Morgana. He's 0-2 so far.
Wonderful stuff then by NIP to force all these things. It's not like it's easy to kill a Morgana. He's got Black Shield. He's supposed to be in the back lines, but Dude warding his own jungle alone and gets caught out for it because of the aggressive play of NIP. Their lanes all pushing the wards deep in enemy territory. And you're seeing Dude once again trying to wrest control over these wards. He's doing something here, but there's really a lot more work ahead of him.
It's what he's got to do for the team, and we do see that Ko goes for what looks like might be a Randuin's or Sunfire Cape coming out here in the very near future.
Randuin's much more likely.
Yeah, Randuin's is much more likely. It's not the old Evelyn. You sit on people with the Sunfire Cape.
5 of them.
Good old days.
Oh, man.
And then you can do it with Garen, too. But
yay.
Right now we have Bilgewater Cutlass's Yuki sitting around. Has a black shield on himself. Looked like he wanted something, but he doesn't go for it. And this is really just NIP starting to run away with the game. They can take a lot of the different objectives. They have Alex split pushing right now. Their mid laner is really strong in a team fight scenario. If you try to contest an objective as gamers too, you're going to take a shockwave. Look at that. They're just going to they're going to go after this blue again. Possibly flank that. There's the ball.
Oh, he's going to land onto 3 people, and Gamers 2's got to be real careful with this one. The slow's coming out, and it's just the disengage, but now you got to be careful if you're Oslet. You're also forced away. Shockwave flashed away. Nicely done. Successful right there, but blue buff right now very much looks like it's going to be controlled by NIP. Oslet's got to be even more careful. The ult himself to stay alive.
Stun.
Voidal is there. Exile goes in. Can he get the damage? Yes, he can. Opt the stun from Voidal's passive. Another kill picked up, now 5-2, and look at this now. Yuki's got to be careful.
He's a little out of position.
Has to flash away from Morden. Now Ko and JWoww is in this one. Exile's gonna go down. These guys willing to fight. Yuki stays alive. Ko, he is squishy, remember, but now Alex Itch goes in. He's been exhausted though. They're gonna find Yuki. The kill picked up there by Freeze, and this fight is just going back and forth. Now the jump in, they pick up another one onto Dio. Now only 2 alive, and JWoww's got nowhere to go. That is another kill picked up. Freeze goes massive in this battle. Now 2-0-4.
and a 3-0-2 on Alex Each, joining the fight at the right time from that overextension of Gamers 2. It looked like the fight was going to go in their favor. They turn it around, they're going to get a turret for it after that.
Absolutely massive. Ninjas and Pyjamas go +1 kills in the battle. They get another turret on top of that one, so that makes it an 8,000 gold lead. Massive lead for these guys.
Returning to the scene of the crime, Freeze is going to take the blue that they originally fought over. There's actually, going back to that blue fight too, it was a really good binding to try and stop the engagement. They went after Freeze. Dragon's up in 30 seconds. If they can catch Freeze, it almost guarantees them.
Well, Co's trying to show up. Freeze just juking the Q, and he does it, but Mord's going to land the slow here. Another Void Ooze successfully placed this time. Puts it the correct direction. Nicely done, and does force the disengage here. And here's the backup.
Escapes on a path of his own vomit.
Yep.
Yeah, the nice stun there from the flash on Exile. Just picks up the kill there. The passive. We're going to see they overextend the fight. JWoww comes in. Voidal actually flashes this perfectly. Stands, jumps, gets out of there. Then Alex comes in onto that nice little minion, goes straight after the biggest threat on the team, takes him out, and that's your job as these hyper carries, is to just kill the one other threat on the other team.
Kill in front of you with the squishy rat, that's even better. So it looks like in this case, Stomach Acid did beat Crossbow Bolts, and Ninjas and Pyjamas take the Dragon down as well. Yeah, sure. But now it's more than a 9,000 gold lead. This number keeps getting bigger, and NIP, this looks so much like Game 1 now.
Yeah, it's looking very reminiscent of it. Of course, it's not over in 27 minutes. It's not going to be over for a little while longer either. They're all sitting in this bush here. Gamers 2, Morden, we see Ocelot there as well. Ward's up. Oh, sees there's Pink Ward, but it's not worth his time just yet. It's better to siege at this moment.
And they give up some of the farm at the top lane there. NIP actually would kind of rather push than sit in the lanes for a little bit while longer and make these sorts of plays. They sweep away the wards. Baron, of course, is still a potential objective, but they don't have the ward coverage for it just yet. They would kill it fast, but double Ruin King. Randuitz is going to be the build for Co there, and also Alex still making his way up there. Actually buys early Lacrity Boots on himself as well, so he's really caring about mobility.
And he wants to get onto Yuki. He wants to be able to get to that back line and just stun up the Twitch and finish him off. We saw he was able to do that successfully in that last fight. The question is, can he do it again? Because that is their key to victory, is just taking out Yuki. He was such a problem in the last game for them. And in this game, he's not as much of a problem because we see Freeze is ahead. But he's still Twitch, and he's building the attack speed Twitch. So he's still really good in fights, and the durability has not been stacked on for NIP just yet. It's really Co with the Randuins.
And is right now, so we'll see how good these engages go. So Co has got some tank stats, and actually he's holding parity pretty much with Yuki because of how far down Gamers 2 are held. It's a 2-item 80 carry versus Randuins in the aggro's Baron. All right, Voidal comes to help. It's gonna be all right. But Co is holding parity right now, so realistically the Cutlass doesn't actually detour him that badly, and it's gonna be okay. Basically NIP have weathered the storm of that slightly risky item build, and it works just fine for these guys. 1-3-3. Co has some deaths. Co is actually going to find JWoww right here, stop the recall, and the team is coming to help as well. We're going to see if he forces the ulti out. Ruin King used, and JWoww's going to be safe.
Used his Bilgewater Cutlass at the same time, and now they're going to start taking over the jungle again if they can. Last blue went to them. Looks like the red's not going to be the same story. Look at that. JWoww actually hasn't gone all the way back if he walks up to spamming Q. Nope.
I'm not going to get that one, so going to stay safe here, but stay in the brush and maybe wait for someone else to show up on this one. Right now,
Alex still pushing bottom, so they have to have JWoww deal with this.
And he's got about 40 seconds to go until teleport comes back up, actually, so they're going to actually want to wait a little bit. If they force the battle and JWoww shows, that's bad news right here. Alex is doing some good damage to the turret. Voidal.
Yuki, he's stealth. Oh.
Yuki does not find a way in this fight just yet, but Co does. Shotgun's going to land on a 1. Yuki's got nowhere to go. Kill picked up to Yude. Now also knocked up. That is a second kill grabbed very quickly there. Nice flank by Co. Good kick by Morden, but I don't know if there's enough for them to get away from this one. There's a safeguard. The damage still coming through. Co trying to make it happen. Nice dissonance to keep the team hasty. They will at least push the minion waves in. I
was talking about how they can submarine the ball in there, and instead they just run it straight at one person. That's the only person they need to take out on the team. That's the only necessity that they have to take off the field. And now they're going to go ahead and siege this turret up. Alex, he's rotating towards that top lane in the mid right now. Ocelot just getting chunked down.
Big damage going through. That is a very scary Kog'Maw. You got to be sure on that one. But Gamers 2, And I like this, though. NIP, they're playing it still very, very smart. It's this measured aggression that they had in the first game, where they're going for pretty low-risk, high-reward plays, like this one.
Boom. Puts him on the other side, completely destroyed. And that's the only person they had to take off the field. The other two off on the side, Ocelot not even in range to wild growth it.
And now Dude again going to get caught out as well. He's got to try to stay alive. Looks like he will do that just barely. But Alex, he wants the kill anyway in the middle of the enemy team. A little aggressive there, but the shockwave hits a bunch of people. And Yuki goes down. The Dragon Form trying to run away, but more damage comes out. Alex can't quite find another, but Freeze sure will. The ulti from long range makes it 2 kills in this fight, 12-4.
Exile's such a great pickup. Even in their loss, he was 6-0-5 on LeBlanc with only missing out on 1 kill in terms of participation. He's coming up big for the team despite being the new guy here. We're going to watch that again. See, they start off, he uses the counter-strike, and he just goes really hard onto Dude. Doesn't go after Yuki just yet. He's not even on the field. He's off on the side. Wild Growth is in. Watch this. This is fantastic. 4-man shockwave there. JWoww didn't get flown backwards into the distance because of the turret. But, oh my lord. They come up huge there. And with the nice ultimate there to pick it up for himself.
So Baron has gone down as a result of all of this. So Ninjas and Pyjamas look all kinds of awesome. 14,000 gold lead. Pretty big lead for these guys right here. And honestly, it's, 32 minutes. Pretty standard game time here, but they're so far ahead at this point. Pink Ward's trying to defend the jungle of Gamers 2, but it's not nearly enough at this point. A dedicated siege would win the game. They're still sending Alex a split push in the bot lane. He still has teleport up if he wants to rejoin his team. Exile's got the easy wave flare going on. Voidal's there to help defend. And here we go.
And then we have a 2-item Jax hitting the field. We also see that Freeze has himself a QSS. So even if he gets bound, he's fine. Just completely out of there because Voidal's going to be a scumbag, not even going to buy him the kills.
That's okay. He's the front line there. He's going to buy a lock of the team.
He needs to go ahead and get his team some magic resistance. It's actually the right choice.
That's just fine. Ocelot still got a little bit of ways to go till the Void Staff comes in, so not a huge damage threat just yet. Mortis's really working on his first big tank item, actually, so does not have Randuin's or a Banshee's Veil. He's got to be afraid. Alex Fitch, as you mentioned, plenty big, though. He's pushing the bottom lane. Ko already pushed top. The rest of NIP grouping towards mid. Ko actually now slinking around to the side as well to make sure everything's nice and safe.
And now we see Alex just pushing the bottom still. 3-0-3, 2 items over JWoww right now. He's actually bringing a lot of pressure to him. Level 17. 3 levels up on the solo laners of Gamers 2. They're going to go mid and try to push this advantage that they have, not only in levels, but also in items.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty good for these guys overall. So,
barely tickles him now.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt anymore. I mean, you've got Baron buff regen, even if it did deal damage, so it's not really anything that matters. Alex is still calling attention down to the bot lane. He is just so far ahead of JWoww, it's not even funny. There's no way you can really defend this properly there. Alex can walk right past him, hit the turret if he wants to. Once the mini wave gets in there, Freeze now getting damage down on this one. He's got to be very careful. He's got QSS, but that won't stop him from getting kicked backwards. He's got to be careful. That gets a lot of shields to keep himself safe, but there's the engage from Ko. There's Voidal in as well. A lot of damage coming out there. Morgana ulti only hits 1, and the kill is picked up there by Exile. Into the base they go. You've got Jax taking the turret down. It's a 1-for-0. The turret going just away from this one forward and kicking someone back, but there's just no real damage coming through anymore. Yuki does not have really anything that's going to touch Jax, and there's the inhibitor down.
Yeah, they put a ton on Yuki's shoulders, and he just hasn't delivered this game. He didn't get the type of lead that he had last game, and now with the wave pushing top, Alex going straight for it, picks it up for himself, and now they're converging onto it. It's a 4-on-5.
You gotta be a bit careful in this one because Ko's putting out a good amount of damage. Voidal there to defend the team as well. He's staying nice and safe, and now that's 2 inhibitors down. Once again, NIP take the time to back off. 1 minute till Baron. There's a mini wave bot lane, but they're not interested in that.
Yeah, just gonna go ahead and go back, spend all of this money that they've gotten for themselves. Dragon just came up, and they're able to go ahead and rotate towards that if they want it.
We'll see that's what they go for here, because right now, they've gone back to base.
Man,
they're ready to close this out.
2 inhibitors off of the Baron. A lot of gold swung in their favor, just even more. And now, Gamers 2 definitely on their back foot. And their back foot's pretty much planted in the ground. It's what's going to happen now. They have to make a final stand because you can't stall the late game against a Jax, Orianna, Kog'Maw.
There's really not a way in for Gamers 2 at this point.
They're very low in levels. Like, that might be the thing.
Yeah,
that they can just get those levels for themselves and Yuki gets huge and they get a good team fight, maybe it'll work out for them if they pick off Freeze.
Oh, they try to make the play for Yuki, but he stealths away. He's going to be safe. But you know what? NIP can just show up with their group of champions regardless. Shove out bot and go for it. Oriana's going to be joining the team very, very soon. He's been pinged as being near the mid lane, but honestly, the bot lane siege is the easy choice now for Ninjas and Pyjamas.
I like Alex's just TPs, all series long.
Yeah.
His teleports have been really good.
He's definitely really acclimated to top lane quite successfully. Held up in 1v1 matchups. Definitely played well in lane swap as well. He's done a good job in team fights.
Oh, wow. Freeze just chunking Ocelot down from an enormous range with the Fire Arcane Barrage. The ball placements could be key here for that Shockwave.
Look how measured NIP are being right now, though. Baron buff's gone.
It's like the old NIP style. Pick them apart.
Yeah, but they've done a good job of that one. Look at this. Ko is actually flanking around the mid lane. He's ready to engage on the turret and just dive this with the gold lead, with the tanks in the front line, with all the armor and the shields coming in from Exile.
He's getting ready to go. They might slap a ball on him as soon as he gets in range for it. If they push up.
Look at that. Freeze just pushes Dude off the fight. This is the turret.
Yep, they're going right now. It's the turret or the deaths.
JWoww's going to do what he can. Ulti's going to only hit one, but who cares in that one? JWoww on the front line. Nice knockup comes out from Braum. And there's nothing for them to do, really. Freeze is destroying his health bar. He's going to go down. Turret falls as well. 2 kills picked up so far. NIP pushing everyone away from this fight like it's their base. And now they go on to the Nexus. Voidal, a lot of shields. Oh, he's going to die. Unfortunate there. Voidal gives away a kill, but who cares? NIP in 37.5 minutes going to make it 2-1. And advance into the finals of Summer Series 1.
And they're going to go to London as well. And just uproot the NIP house, take themselves to England.
A little bit southwest of them. And